First thing we're going to do is clone our repository for REDCap Cypress Docker. From there, what we're going to do is open up a instance of that cloned repository in VS Code, and then we will proceed to download the repos with the download repo shell script, which will clone all of the sub-repositories into our local environment, including the REDCap Cypress repository and the REDCap Docker repository, and also the REDCap RSPC repository, which contains the feature tests. We'll also begin downloading the REDCap source code itself. So we're going to enter in the version that we want to download. And this will connect us to the community site. And I will enter my credentials here between my username and password. And now we're performing a curl function to download this. So we're just going to allow this download to complete in real time. And as we wait for this, we can talk about some other aspects to this. So once we are done downloading the REDCap source code, we will be ready to start up the Docker containers, which will access the source code. And we will also be able to start up the Cypress environment to begin testing against REDCap. So we have to wait for this download to complete before that happens, but you can see in the README that we have some information about how to set up our REDCap test environment with the Docker compose up command. And for the Cypress environment, we use Node Package Manager. So we're seeing that the zip file successfully downloaded. And so now what we can do is we can cd into the REDCap Docker directory and issue Docker compose up to spin up our Docker containers. The next thing we'll do is open up a new tab here, and we will start up the Cypress environment then. So we're going to cd into REDCap Cypress and then issue npm install, which runs Node Package Manager installation of all the dependencies that we need in order to run REDCap Cypress. And once all these dependencies are installed, then we'll issue npx cypress open, which will open up the Cypress window here for us to begin E2E testing. We're going to click on begin E2E testing, and now we can click on the first feature test here in order to get started. So you'll notice as these database commands run that we are now issuing requests against the actual REDCap Docker container, and you can see that it's version 13.137 that we're running against. So we're going to go ahead and minimize this window for now, and then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to download REDCap version 14.0.6, which we can do by issuing a command on the terminal here. So we're going to open up a new terminal window. We will run the download REDCap shell script here. So we're going to issue that. We want to issue 14.0.6. So we're going to type that in, type in our username for the community site, type in our password. We're going to begin that curl request. And while we're waiting for that curl request to finish, we can change the version that REDCap Cypress references. So we're going to go into the REDCap Cypress directory and go to cypress.env.json file. We'll change this to be 14.0.6. And then that will be ready for us to go once the version 14.0.6 is extracted on our local machine. You'll notice that this is also reflected in the documentation. So now we just have to wait for this 14.0.6 zip file to be completed. We are downloading this in real time, so it will take a few moments here for that to complete. And then once the download is complete, what we can do is we'll rerun our Cypress tests using version 14.0.6. So you can see the folder exists in the REDCap source folder. And we changed our REDCap version in the cypress.env.json file. So now we're back in the Cypress window, and we can see that the requests are now being made against 14.0.6. And so that's really all there is to it to change a REDCap version and download a new version of REDCap. Thanks.